Hi y'all, Katsumi here. Welcome back to the library and welcome to books. The books book. Because if I'm going with this metaphor, then each video is a book. And this is the book about doing books in the section of KonMari Method Part 2, where we're going through my second Marie-Kondoing, and now I'm doing books, which is the second category, book. So I'm here by the bookshelf as it stands today. It looks pretty good. I'm gonna do a quick walk through all the ones I kept because I didn't record that anywhere. Low-key don't have that many clips for the book's process itself. I mean, it's pretty simple. Not only did I already have my books pretty organized and minimized from the first Marie-Kondoing, but I also, you're gonna see in the time lapse, I didn't like actually gather them in a pile or do the full process, just because I'm already sure about being able to glance at the spine of each one and kind of determine that way if I want to keep it. Obviously, if you have a lot of books, I just realized I'm presuming that somebody might use this as a guide for their own Marie-Kondoing. Yeah, that's the goal actually. So if you're doing it and you have a lot of books everywhere, make sure you definitely do that. You know, the full process of gathering them all into one space and going and touching each one and like really determining if you want to keep it or not. But for mine, I did it pretty quick. I just left them on the shelf because they were literally all right here. And I just picked through them. This one's really cool. It's a really old, well, 1955 is when it says on the inside. It basically summarizes the cosmological process of how we got to now. It's just so intriguing to think about how much more we know now, but it's still how we had a good idea, even back then in 1955, of how the stars formed the planets, formed life, formed us. Star Wars Visual Dictionary, classic, nice and beat up. Same with the Transformers one right next to it. A houseplant guide that I literally referenced the other day because what's going on with one of my plants is acting up, and I'm like, why is it doing this? And I found out that it needs more consistent watering. Steve Jobs' biography by Walter Isaacson. It sparks joy for me because as much as he is a tech billionaire, as much as he was a tech billionaire, I do believe Steve Jobs was offering something unique and cunty to the world of tech and the world at large. Even though I understand that nowadays tech billionaires are being canceled and they're ugly and you know, they're not really advancing humanity. In fact, quite the opposite. I have the Jurassic Park and the Lost World in one, the Barnes & Noble like special edition with both of them in one. Look, you need to reread that. The Big Reveal by Sasha Velour. Trixie and Katja's Guide to Modern Womanhood. I'm literally there's gonna be a clip in like literally 30 seconds of me talking about that. The Art of the Polar Express. Why do linguistics? Great question. It was a really good textbook in my class. 5,000 años de palabras, 5,000 years of words. We've been talking for like 5,000 years. And this book is like a light textbook history of language. It's an heirloom copy, one generation so far, but it's an heirloom copy of Jurassic Park, the novel. First edition, I believe. It's really old. It's very yellow, so. Love this for me. Thanks, Dad. Wait, I want to show you guys this one too, The Jedi Path. It has like notes from Ahsoka and the people who've read this same book. Oh my God, I think that's so cute and fun. Liquid Jade, it's the history of tea from east to west. A book all about tea from east to west. Like, it covers a lot. It's a really good book, I highly recommend it. Obviously, I highly recommend all of these books. This little rainbow section is all my printed journals. I use the Day One app to do my journaling every day, and I've been printing them, but low-key I need to catch up because the last one I have here is 2022. Okay, so I need to print 2 more books. I have them printed here. Low-key, as I'm talking about it, wondering if I do want to keep these physically or if I should just take advantage of the digital format and just have them on the app forever. I think what would make the physical ones more valuable is if I actually went through them and read them. So maybe what I'll do is go through them and read them like a normal book and then, you know, learn things about myself or annotate it in some way that adds value to it and kind of break it in, right, and actually read it. That could be interesting. That could be an interesting personal project to do. How to Change Your Mind by Michael Pollan is a book about psychedelics and the modern consciousness, basically. Highly recommend it. The Hidden Glory of India is another book I referenced later. It's the you'll see. It's pretty good. It taught me to appreciate India more for what it's contributed to global culture. Not that I didn't before, just a reminder of the specifics, the things that they have contributed. Call Me By Your Name, obviously. This is a more modern copy with the book, with the movie picture on it. Yeah, good one. This one, low-key, questionable. It's like a, no, you know what? Okay, well, I just need to kind of use it more. It's an encyclopedia in Spanish. Pequeño La Cruz Ilustrado. It's an heirloom also from my aunt, so I want to appreciate it, but it's kind of big and clunky and I don't want to use it. Maybe I just need to use it more. Whenever I encounter a Spanish word I don't know or something. And then I have the Crazy Rich Asians trilogy. Highly recommend all three of them. Low-key need to revisit them again. I think I've already read them twice, but it's one I would reread again because the story is that good. I like the story. And then the Marie-Kondo books. How on topic. I have another heirloom. I look-key have 3 heirlooms on this shelf. El Principito, an heirloom copy of The Little Prince in Spanish from my mother. Wait, I have one from my mother and my father. I didn't even... This is why I love that I'm documenting this kind of a process, because it helps me reflect on... Like, obviously the Marie-Kondoing has been done for a long time, but even just going back and editing and making these videos, I get to do more self-reflection and appreciate the material things I have kept even more. Time jump. So I just finished doing clothes, by the way. Mostly off camera. I'll show you the results later, or however. Anyways, I'm doing some light reading now. Trixie and Katja's Guide to Modern Womanhood. And I got to this chapter, I was like, that's kind of scary. Decluttering Your Condo, Mary. Wait, so they usually say Mary, like as a queer language, they'll say, what are you doing, Mary? M-A-R-Y, I think that is, right? But I think she changed it to Marie for Marie-Kondo. It's extremely short. And she didn't actually mention Marie-Kondo herself. But I think that's the vibe I'm getting with this book as I'm reading it. It's like almost parody enough that it becomes actually helpful for self-help or like advice. I hope that's what they're going for. If not, I'm kind of doing a scathing critique of the book. But I think I've heard them mention that this book was like a side project for them and they just like did it for fun. It mostly talked about hoarding, not clutter. I think those are kind of different. I just thought it was so coincidental that I came to this chapter as I'm in the middle of a Marie-Kondoing. Not to brag, but books is gonna be really easy for me because it just clicks in my brain what she said about like once you read it, the value only comes from the knowledge that you extracted from it, most likely on your first read. The rereadability of most books is non-existent to none. And they're just so big and heavy and take up a lot of space in a physical room. Plus, with how good this iPad is, for example, at reading ebooks and being able to access them online, it's very rare I specifically want the physical copy of a book. I'm okay with ebooks. Or if I do, I know I'm just gonna read it and most likely not even keep it. That being said, there are a few books that spark joy. The Marie-Kondo books themselves, obviously, love having these are like Bibles to me now after I've done it. This is my second time now. Or would it be kind of deep if one day I do end up giving them away because like I did it. I did the tidying. Now what? Anyways, they're pretty. Okay, let's do books. I gathered, so downstairs I had put a bunch downstairs, like cheating, being like, oh, we can just like keep these in the house, but I don't want to get rid of them fully. No, get rid of them or nothing. So I already put those in a pile downstairs. Welcome to the time-lapse section of the video. Here I am going through the books. It didn't take long. It took one time-lapse. I definitely made a donate pile, and then I definitely made a read one more time and see if you want to keep it or donate it pile, like a double check pile. But yeah, it didn't take long. The ones I kept, they just stayed right on the shelf. Whew. Marie Kondo was right when she says save sentimental stuff for last, because I had the yearbooks here in the book category and I was having a hard time like thinking about it, like thinking about getting rid of any of these, and a lot of the emotions came rushing back as I was like flipping through them. which is already actually just a general rule about books. You're not supposed to actually flip through them. But anyways, setting those aside, those are last category. Oh hey, Loki, haven't recorded in a while. That's really bad. It's not that bad, but still, happy Pride. It's Pride right now. Gay. It's Pride the day I'm recording this, but basically I wanted to say that 2 of the books from the read one more time and see if you actually like them or if you want to donate them pile have been read. This one is a cute little pamphlet about like the rebellion or like the apocalypse, kind of. It's literally called Instructions for Autonomy. How do I describe it? It's like instructions for like what to do since the world is ending. And I found it very, on the second read, I found it very cringe and not very representative of how extremist I want to believe that the world is ending. The world's not ending. It's changing, which it always does. Anyways, this was cringe. This was like, oh, like y'all are doing the most with it. Y'all are like y'all are being dramatic. Which I'm usually here for. That's how you know it's really dramatic. And then this one is also kind of cringe. 100 things successful people do. Bitch, I'm successful. I don't have to do all these. But no, actually, I did glance through it again, and I've read it already twice. Yeah, some of the things are actually good. Keep a journal. Great idea. I do that. Get thick skin. Working on it. Leave your comfort zone. Yeah, I go to the gym. Know yourself. I'm learning myself. Anyways, this is the definition of a book that you read like once and then apply everything you learned, or you flopped, right? So next person, here you go. 100 things you should do to be successful. Feels good to eliminate books from the read one more time and see if you want to keep it or donate a pile. Another book taken out of the read one more time and see if you actually want to keep it or donate it pile has been finished, and I'm going to donate it because it did, I'm not gonna lie, this did kind of save me out of a depression. I feel like it's kind of embarrassing to admit because this book is like often, it's a little cringe in a vacuum, right? But no, there's some good stuff in here, and I just reread the ones that I think actually offer me value. And yeah, like especially the last chapter, it's all positive. I'm in a good place right now, so the sad stuff didn't really resonate with me, but it has in the past. Someone else's turn to like use this to get out of depression or just reflect on the vast range of emotions that us humans can feel. Okay, so I picked up the next one on the pile, and I'm not even gonna read it. It was really nice how, it's because I went to an Indian temple, and somebody who like noticed that I was like kind of out of place gave me this and another book over there that I might read. But this one, I've already read the Bhagavad Gita itself, and right now I'm not really interested in diving into spiritual texts like that. Let me just donate it. But it's just an introduction to the book, and I think I already got the gist of it because I read like itself, and there was like commentary that interpreted it a bit. Books is already done, y'all. That was it. Just one little video about books. Next is going to be papers, which I think is also going to be short. I can't see that taking more than one video as well. That'll be next week. Thank you guys so much for coming to the library. See you next time. Enjoy.